Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this really fab and funky textured flower granny square. Now this granny square is part of the Festival Pick and Mix Cal, but you don't have to be crocheting that blanket to make this square. You are free to use the square independently for any project that you so fancy. You can use any yarn weight and any hook size for this square. It's amazing on the front and the back looks pretty impressive as well. To begin, we're going to start with a magic ring and then chain 2. 1, 2. Now into the magic ring, we're going to be working double crochet stitches. This is American term double crochets, and we need to work 15 of them into this magic ring. So that's 1, I need 14 more. If you start to run out of room, you can always scooch your stitches around to create a bit more space. Once you've finished your stitches, just take a moment to check that you have your 15 double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. And then you have your little chain 2 that we started with. Now to finish this first round, we're going to ignore that chain 2 at the start and find the very first double crochet stitch that you made. That is the stitch we're going to slip stitch into. So I'm just going into the top of that double crochet stitch, then chain 1, cut your yarn leaving a nice long length to weave in, pull that up, out and tight, and then you can go ahead and close up the magic ring at the back. Now grab the colour you wish to use for the petals of your flower. Now I'm making my petals in white, so for round 2 with your new colour, we're going to pop a slip knot onto our hook. And we're going to start with a standing stitch. So this is where we finished off. I'm going to move along to the next stitch here, and into that stitch I'm just going to insert my hook, draw up the yarn. I'll have 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, and pull through those 2 loops. You've just made a standing single crochet. Now single crochet into the next stitch. Chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now skip over this first chain here, the one right beneath your hook, and into the second one, work a single crochet. So I'm just coming back down the chain, 1 single crochet, and then into the next, work another single crochet. Into the next, work a single crochet. So we've worked 1, 2, 3 single crochets. We've got 3 more chains. So go ahead and work a single crochet into each. So as you come back down, you will have 6 single crochets worked into 6 chains. Now single crochet into the next stitch of this yellow round. So just the next one available, single crochet. And then single crochet into the next one. Again, chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Skipping over the 7th chain, work a single crochet and single crochet back down the row. You'll have 6 single crochets worked into each of those 6 chains. Now single crochet into the next available yellow stitch and single crochet into the one after that. So we're going to keep working this, 2 single crochets, chain 7, skipping over that 7th chain, so ignore that one and work 1 single crochet into the remaining 6 chains back down towards the center of your flower. And then single crochet into the next 2 available yellow stitches. Keep repeating this around. Once you have 7 of these arms, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7 I've just created, we will be back round to where we ended this yellow round. So we need to work our 2 single crochets. There's a very clear stitch to work the first one into. That's 1. And then we will be working into the top here where we've slip stitched. So you can see here's the little slip stitch. Just work into that spot wherever you can easily pop your hook for that second single crochet. Now we need 1 more of these little petal arms. So go ahead and chain 7 and then work your 6 single crochets back down. Now to end this second round, we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet that we made. So we're just going to join with a slip stitch. And then we're also going to slip stitch into that second single crochet. So we've slip stitched into 2 stitches, ready for round 3. Now just double check that you have 8 arms before we continue on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For round 3, we're going to fill in these white petals. Now we're going to be working up the side of the chain that we made in the last round and then down into the tops of the single crochets that we made coming down the side of the chain. So if you look closely, you'll be able to see there are little tiny holes where the chains are. These are the areas we're going to be working into. So into this very first base chain at the bottom, we're going to work one single crochet. Just push your hook into the chain and work a single crochet stitch. Now into the next one, we're going to work a half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, go into the chain, just push your hook into the chain, draw up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 for a half double crochet. Then into the next chain, we're going to work a double crochet. Just straight into that chain. And then find the next chain, and into that one, we're going to work another double crochet. So we're just working up the side of this chain. Single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. Then into the next chain, we're going to work 2 double crochet stitches, both into that same spot. So that's 1 and 2 straight back into that exact same area. Now we're going to find the top of the single crochet, the very first one you made in these 6 coming back down the chain. So we're going to skip this chain at the top here, and we're going to find the top of the single crochet. That is the stitch we're going to work into next. And into that single crochet, we're going to work 3 double crochet stitches. So I'm going under the 2 loops of that single crochet, and I'm going to work 3 double crochet stitches. That's 1, 2, and 3. Then chain 1, and we're going to work 3 more double crochets back into that exact same stitch. So just where you worked your 3 double crochets, work 3 more of them. So 3 more double crochets back into that single crochet stitch. 1, 2, and 3. So we've come up the side of the chain, around the top, and now we're going to be working into these single crochet stitches that we made in the last round. So into the next stitch, work 2 double crochet stitches, both into that same stitch. 1 and 2. Into the next single crochet, work 1 double crochet. Into the next stitch, work 1 double crochet. Into the stitch after that, so the very next stitch, work a half double crochet. Then into the final single crochet that you made coming down this chain in the last round, work 1 single crochet. Now you have your 2 single crochets at the base here that have been worked into this yellow round. Skip the first one and slip stitch into the second. So we're going to skip over this first single crochet entirely and slip stitch into the second. And that is your first petal made. So we're going to repeat this petal section again. Single crochet into the next chain, so into that chain, single crochet, half double crochet into the next one, double crochet into the next, double crochet into the chain after that, then into the next chain, work 2 double crochets into the same place. So that's 1 and that's 2. Now we're going to find the top of the single crochet that you did in round 2, and into that single crochet we're going to work 3 double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and work 3 more double crochet stitches back into that exact same place where we just worked the last 3. So 3 more into that same spot. 1, 2, 3. Now working back down your single crochets from round 2 into the next single crochet, we're going to work 2 double crochet stitches in the same place. 1, 2. Then work a double crochet into the next stitch, a double crochet into the one after that, half double crochet into the next stitch, and single crochet into the next. Then we're going to skip a stitch and slip stitch into the one after. I'll show you one more time. Single crochet into that first chain, half double crochet into the next, double crochet into the next chain, double crochet into the one after that, then 2 double crochets in the same chain for the next one. So that's 1 and 2 into the same place. Then find your single crochet from round 2, and into that single crochet we're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 more double crochets, all into the same stitch. So that's my first 3 double crochet, chain 1 and work 3 more back into that same spot. 1, 2, 3. Into the next stitch, work 2 double crochet stitches. 1, 2. Work a double crochet into the next stitch, a double crochet into the next stitch after that, then a half double crochet into the next stitch, and a single crochet into that last single crochet of this sort of little chain arm, then skip a stitch and slip stitch into the next. So that is 3 petals made. We have 5 more arms. We're going to work this sequence around the next 5 arms and then meet me back when you are just finishing up on this final arm over here. Single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, 2 double crochets. Then coming back down this other side, 3 double crochet, chain 1 and 3 double crochets into this first stitch, 2 double crochets into the next, double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, skip a stitch, slip stitch into the next. Keep going and meet me back when you are finishing up this final petal. So I am just finishing up my final petal here, and we're going to end this round a little bit differently. So I'm doing my final half double crochet, then my single crochet. I have all 8 petals. And to finish this round, instead of skipping a stitch and slip stitching, we already have a slip stitch here from the very beginning of this round, right here. And what you're going to do, and on for this one is a little bit tricky, but we're just going to force our hook in. We're going to end with a single crochet around the post of this slip stitch. So coming from the back to the front, shove your hook in. Wherever it will go, to be honest, for this very first one. Just going to shove it in. The others are much easier in the next round, I promise. So I've shoved my hook through, and then I'm going to shove my hook back like that. I'll show you again. If I can get my hook back out. Here is our little like slip stitch from the beginning of the round. I'm bringing my hook from the back, pushing it through, and then I'm putting my hook back down into this next little space here. Then yarn over, your yarn will be at the back, bring it all the way through, yarn over, pull through 2, and you've finished with a single crochet around the post of that slip stitch. All right, for round 4, we're going to go ahead and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold the petal forwards so it's out of your way, and we're going to find the slip stitch in between the next 2 petals. You can see it here. I'm going to bring my hook from the back out this side and back in that side. So come through one side of that slip stitch and push your hook back in so it's pointing out at the back. Just as we did at the end of round 3, we're going to bring that yarn back with us. So yarn over and pull it through and keep going until your hook is at the back of your work again. Then yarn over, pull through those 2, and we've created a single crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push the petal forwards. Find that slip stitch in between the 2 petals. And we're going to work around the post. So hook in and then back out. Grab the yarn and pull it through. And complete your single crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold the petal out of the way. Identify that slip stitch in between the petals. Put your hook in from the back. Push it back to the back again. If you want to leave it sort of folded like this, might be a bit easier for you to draw your hook through. We're going to take the yarn and we're going to bring it all the way back to the back again and create a single crochet. So your chains will be behind the petals. If we flip these back up, the chains are at the back. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold the petal forwards. Find the slip stitch in between the petals. Hook in from the back and then pop it out to the back again. Yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. That's your single crochet. Chain 5. Fold the petal forwards. Find the next slip stitch in between your petals. Hook in and then back out again. Single crochet. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold the petal forwards. Find the slip stitch in between the 2 petals. Hook in from the back. Out it goes again. Single crochet. Chain 5. Petal forwards. Single crochet around the post of the slip stitch. Chain 5. Now we are right back to where we started. So if you fold that last petal forwards, we're back to where we started with this single crochet around the slip stitch that we did right in the beginning. We're going to slip stitch into the top of that single crochet stitch. So just slip stitch into the top of it. If it's easier for you to slip stitch into this chain loop next to it, by all means, that's absolutely fine. And then we are done with this petal colour, so we're going to chain 1, leave a long length for weaving in, cut it off, pull it through, up and tight. Then you can squash out this terrible mess you've made from folding all the petals forwards. The front you will have 8 petals, and on the back you will have 8 chain loops. Now it might be worth just taking a moment to weave in these ends before they get too out of control. So you can do that with a large eye needle. You'll have 2 yellow ends and 2 white ends to weave in. So as I weave in my ends, I'm putting them underneath the stitches, but my needle is not coming out at the front. Now for round 5, you're going to grab the colour of yarn that you want the square to be. Then we're going to pop a slip knot onto our hook. And we're going to be working into these chain loops behind the petals. So just fold your petals forwards. Pick any of these chain loops and we're going to start by making a standing double crochet stitch. Now to do that, you're going to yarn over your hook and then put your finger on those 2 loops so they don't spin off. Then go under the chain loop and draw up a loop. You will have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and you have a standing double crochet stitch. Now into this same chain loop space, so I'm working where my finger is sticking out of the chain loop here, we're going to work 2 more double crochet stitches. So that's 1, 2. So I'm just working straight into the space. We're going to form a corner in this very first space, so chain 2 and work 3 more double crochets back into this same chain space. That's 1, 2, 3. So I formed a corner behind the petal. Now working into the next chain loop space, we're going to work a side, and a side is just 3 double crochets. So just 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to move on to the next chain loop space. You'll note I'm always folding these petals forward so they're out of my way. And into this next chain loop space, we're going to work a corner. And a corner is 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 double crochets back into that same chain space. Corner, side, corner. Into the next chain loop space, work a side, and a side is just 3 double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then into the next chain loop space, we're going to work a corner, so 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet all into that same space. Then we're making a side, so into the next chain loop space, work a side of just 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. So you can see behind these flower petals, as I pull them forwards, we are making a square. It doesn't look particularly square just yet, but don't panic, it will become square. So into the next chain loop space, we're going to work a corner. So 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into that same spot. And then into the very last chain loop space that you have, we're going to work a side, which is just 3 double crochets on their own. 1, 2, 3. Now to end this round, find that standing double crochet that you did right in the beginning, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of that, just straight in underneath the stitch. I like to bring my yarn to the front of the knot and join with a slip stitch. So if you look from the front and flatten it out a little bit, you can't see the square behind just yet, but if you turn it over, you'll see we're forming a square behind. For round 6, we're going to start by chaining 3. Then leap straight into the chain 2 space of the corner, and we're going to form a new corner, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochets all into that same chain 2 space. So we're forming a corner on top of the old corner below. So that's 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet back into that same chain 2 space. Now we're working along the side, and we have 2 side spots this time before we hit our chain 2 space of the next corner. So in between these sets of 3 double crochets here and here, we're going to work a side, and a side is just 3 double crochets. So into this very first section here, this little gap in between your sets of double crochet, work 3 double crochet to form a little side section. So that's 1, 2, 3. And leap across to the next little gap in between your sets of 3 and work another side. So that's 3 double crochet just on their own straight into that little gap here. Then the next spot we have is a chain 2, and that means we're at the corner. So into this chain 2 space, we're going to form a new corner. So 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 more double crochets all into that same chain 2 space. So we're going to work this around. In the chain 2 corner spaces, you form a new corner, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. On the sides, in between your sets of 3 double crochets, we're going to work new sides. So 3 double crochet and then 3 double crochet. So corner, side, side, corner. Side, side, corner. Meet me when you have finished this 4th corner over here. So I've just finished my fourth corner here and I'm along this final straight. So into this first side section, we work a side as normal, so just 3 double crochet. And then into this next side section, this is where we started the round. So we have this little gap with a chain 3 coming out of it just before the corner. So into this very last side section here, we're going to work just 2 double crochets. This chain 3 counts as a double crochet stitch, so we only need 2 double crochets to finish. So that's 1. Got my tail here getting in my way. Let's pull that to the side. 1 and 2. Then to finish this 6th round, you're going to find the top of that chain 3 that we started with. So 1, 2, 3 chains, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. From the back, you'll see we're now squaring up nicely. And from the front, we've still got a whole load of flower action. For round 7 is the round where we will be attaching these petals to the square at the back. So we're going to start just as we did before with a chain 3, and then we're going to move straight into this corner. Now for this corner, we're going to start with 1 double crochet into that chain 2 space. And then we are going to attach the petal. Now the petal will naturally lie there, so you know which petal it is. And we're going to work into the chain 1 space at the top of the petal. Now you'll easily be able to find that chain 1 space. Just pop your finger through to make it a bit more obvious if that helps. And we're going to join to this square at the back, the petal at the front. So we've made 1 double crochet stitch in the corner. We're going to work another double crochet stitch, but we're going to work through the chain 1 of the petal and the chain 2 of the corner space. So yarn over, line that petal up and work through the petal and through the corner space. Draw up your loop and complete your double crochet. Then for the 3rd double crochet of the corner, we're just working into the chain 2 at the back, not the petal. So work 1 more double crochet into the chain 2 space at the back. Then chain 2, and because we're working a corner, back into the chain 2 space behind the petal, work 1 double crochet. Then the next double crochet, we're going to work through the petal as well as the chain space at the back. So yarn over, go through the chain 1 of the top of the petal and the chain 2 space at the back. Draw your yarn through both and complete your double crochet. Then for the 3rd stitch of your corner, work a double crochet just into the chain 2 at the back. So you can see from the back we've worked a normal corner, but we've also attached it with 2 stitches to this petal at the front. Now move across to your next little gap in between your sets of 3 double crochet and work a side as normal. So just 3 double crochets straight into that space. Now for the next side section, we're going to attach a petal. So 1 double crochet into the green area only, then 1 double crochet worked through the chain 1 of the top of the petal and this space. So I'm going to yarn over, going through the chain 1 of the petal, putting my hook into the space as well. So I'm working through both. Draw my yarn through, complete my double crochet, and then push that petal out of the way and work your final double crochet of the side into the green section only. So we're only attaching the petals with 1 stitch on the side. Then moving across, you have another side section to complete. No joining for this one, just a straight normal side of 3 double crochet only. Then we're back at a corner and we're going to be joining a petal again. So 1 double crochet into the corner's chain 2 space, 1 double crochet through the chain space and the chain of the petal. So bring that petal in, work a double crochet through both, then 1 double crochet into the green only. So that's our 3 stitches, chain 2, work 1 double crochet into the chain 2 space only, 1 double crochet through the chain 2 space and the chain 1 of the flower, and then the final double crochet is just into the chain 2 space. So we're going to work this all the way around. There are 3 sides to work on the side sections. The first one is just a normal non-joining granny cluster of 3. So 3 double crochets to form your little granny square cluster. The second one is where we join. So 1 double crochet into the green section, 1 double crochet through the petal, the chain 1 of the petal and the green, and then your final double crochet just into the square section itself, not through the petal. Then you will have 1 normal side with no joining, so 3 double crochet. Then we're back to a corner, so 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet through the petal as well, then move the petal away and work your 3rd double crochet just into the chain 2 itself, then chain 2, 1 double crochet behind into that chain 2 space, 1 double crochet through the petal as well, and then your final double crochet at the corner just into the chain 2 space. So we're going to continue this around. Side, no joining, side, join, side, no joining, corner, join. So join at the corners and join on the 2nd side only. So I'm just joining my final petal here on the side. And to finish this round, we already have the chain 3 that we started with. So into this space here where you chain 3 from, we're going to work 2 double crochets just straight into that space to finish off this side section. Don't worry if you work over the chains, it really doesn't matter. And then again, just as before, find the top of that chain 3. If it's easier to count back from the corner, you can. So you have 1, 2, 3 stitches. And then this next bit here, that is the top of your chain 3. We're going to slip stitch to join and to finish up round 7. Now you might want to take a moment to just unfold your side petals. Your corner ones will probably be lying very nice and flat, but these ones have like a nice little curve to them. which gives them a really, really nice textural aspect. I like to just squash it slightly. And then we're ready for the 8th and final round. Okay, so for round 8, we're going to be working the half double crochet stitch for this round. So we're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and we're going to work a half double crochet right into the top of that chain where you just joined. Then we're going to work a half double crochet into the top of these next 3 stitches. So working into the stitch itself, just work a half double crochet. Then you're going to hit a chain 2, which is your corner space, and we're going to work a new corner. Now the corners for round 8 are formed with 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 more half double crochets, all into that same space. So our corners are 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochets. Then we are going to half double crochet into the top of all these double crochets from the row below. There are 15 stitches to work into. So work 1 half double crochet in each. When you get to this little section where the side petals are joined, don't worry, just fold it out of the way so you can clearly identify your stitches and work into those just as you are with all the other stitches. Then you can push that back up and continue working. So once you have worked 15 half double crochets into all of the stitches from the row below, you'll be at your corner chain 2 space where you form a new corner. So that's 2 half double crochets, chain 2 and 2 more half double crochets into that same chain 2 spot. Then working along a side, work 1 half double crochet into each of these 15 stitches from the row below. Once you hit your corner chain 2 space, again 2 half doubles, chain 2 and 2 half double crochets into the same spot to form the new corner. Then half double crochet into each stitch all the way along the side. I'm at a corner again, so I'm creating a new corner with 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets, and then we're going to work a half double crochet into all these unworked stitches until we get back to where we started. Now as you approach the beginning, you'll remember that we worked 1 half double into the top of the chain 3 right at the very beginning. So you'll only have 2 stitches left to work into these last 2 double crochets that you made at the end of the last round. Don't be fooled by this slip stitch thinking that's somewhere to work another stitch. We're only going to be working into the top of these double crochets for the last 2 stitches. And then we're going to ignore the slip stitch, ignore the chain 1 and find the top of that very first half double crochet that you made. If you want to count backwards, find your chain 2 space, then count these stitches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is where you want to slip stitch for this final stitch. So right in here, I'm going to slip stitch in there. If you want to check you have the double stitch count before fully committing to cutting your yarn, you should have 19 stitches in between each chain 2 space. So at the chain 2, 19 half double crochets, chain 2, 19 half double crochets. You should have that along all 4 sides. Then when you are happy and you are ready to finish, we're going to cut our yarn tails, leaving quite a nice long length for weaving in. You're going to pull that yarn back down onto your hook, chain 1, pull it through, pull it tight, and then all that is left to do is weave in these 2 green ends. Push your flower back into shape with these petals if you've folded them out of the way. Pull your corners out a little bit. And your flower granny square is complete. Now it's got amazing texture. I really love these and they look really cool on the back too. I really like how they look from the back. So a fantastic square. I hope you liked this one. Please do let me know what you think of this square down in the comments below. And until next time, happy crocheting. Bye.